In this lesson, I'm going to explain the animation system in simlab Composer. In the default view on your library, if you go in here and change the animation menu, all the menu change to animation. And the animation tab will be automatically open. We have a lots of tools here for animation that I explain them. First, I want to explain how to animation in the timeline and explain these tools. As you can see, if you want to use animation as the object, you have to first select it. As you can see, when you select it, the object will be appear in a selection tree, and you can animation all the transform properties, scale, rotation, and the movement. Here we have the frame range from 0 to any number that you type here, or you can with click and drag to change the range of the animation in any range that you want. First, the thing that is automatically turned on is automatic keyframing. It means first the frame per second of this software is 30. It means in any 30 frame we have 1 second. With the Alt and the Control you can expand. For example, with the Alt you can scroll the timeline. With holding Control and scroll, you can zoom in or zoom out the timeline. I don't know why the scroll handle is not here, but you can with the Alt, you can with Alt scroll, holding Alt and scroll to scroll in the timeline, holding Control and scroll the mouse for zoom in or zoom out the timeline. Okay. Another first thing is automatic keyframing. I turn it off to explain the manually and then explain the automatic. First, you have to set the position of the frame and then set the position of the object in your scene and then hit the keyframe. As you can see, the keyframe will be appear here. If you select it, its properties will be open. That we have just ease in or out. I'll explain them. Future. And after that, for example, I want to make animation, the object move here and then back in its position. First, you have to set the keyframe, the position. It's not important. You can then move your keyframe. Doesn't important. Then change the position of the object, and after that, you can capture the position or transform position of the object there. And you can see if you this is an indicator. You can change the position of this slider, and as you can see, we have a very simple animation. For bringing back in its position, you can, as you can see in this frame, it stores the position of the object in this place. You can Control C and then Control V. And you can do not show this window message again. And as you can see, it's copy the object. And as you can see, the the object bring back to its position. First, I want to explain the speed. When you can click and drag to change the position of the, you can change the frame, the second of the keyframe. As you can see, the object has more time to travel in between these two frames. It means the animation is go slower. And here is faster because we have less, you have to pause it. We have less frame to travel in between. If you want to change the speed of your animation, you have to change the range in between two keyframe. As you can see, if you select it here, our animation is go very fast. So you can control the speed of your animation with changing the position of your keyframe in the timeline. You can of course change the scale or rotation of the object. For example, the rotation of the object is in this position, and you can select the object and rotate it, for example, in this direction. And of course, you have to keyframe it. And now, as you can see, we have a rotation. Or you can set a rotation in this direction if you want and keyframe it. Okay. You can simply with click and drag to select all the keyframe and hit delete, or you can delete all animation with this button. You can go to any keyframe by these icons. As you can see, you can go to the keyframes. You can select all keyframe with this. You can group them if you want. As you can see, this is in group keyframing, and you can delete all animation again. In this time, I want to explain the auto keyframing. We turn it on. It means it does the keyframing automatically for you. You have to first set the frame position that you want. As you can see, I have to mention a red box in a software. It means you are in an animation timeline and you are not in a zero, because sometimes it's very important. If you go in here and the automatic animation is in turn on, when you select the object, as you can see, automatically add a keyframe for you, and it's not okay. So first you have to position your frame and change the position and the scale of the object. And as you can see, it automatically set the keyframe at the first and the second keyframe at the destination. And as you can see, you can change the scale and the position of the object in that position. Go with the object here, and you can bring the object, for example, in this position, make it smaller and rotate. And as you can see, automatically keyframe the transform position on this object there. It's automatically do it for us. If you want, you can do it. Here you can copy instead of Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Here you can move the object. For example, you can move the object with 3 frame or any frame. It's moved 3 frame in its position. Or you can copy it, move and copy, then move the selected frame. For example, you want to copy it. It means it's copy and move the, for example, 50 frame from this position to this position of the object. Okay. Another thing that I want to mention, that, for example, bring the object here. As you can see, it's automatically keyframe, and I don't like it. Because of that, I turn it off always. For example, I want to state position objects in some frame here. First, keyframe in this position, then change the frame and keyframe it again, and bring it back to its position and frame again. As you can see, if the object goes to that frame, suddenly go back. If you want to stay it, you can copy this frame in a, for example, a distance from here. You can copy and move, for example, 50. As you can see, it means the position of the object will be maintained in this range. We have 2 similar keyframe here. It means it's stay, and then go back. So this is a point that I want to mention. Another thing is, when you select the keyframe, is easy in and easy out. As you can see, our animation is very solid. It's not very smooth. For smoothing, going out of this frame, you have to use ease out. The keyframe will be changed, and as you can see, it's smoothly going out of that frame. You can change the range of the frame, and it automatically goes first. And as you can see, if we play it, it's suddenly a stop at the end, and it's not beautiful. You can, if you want to, come smoothly in the keyframe, you have to use ease in. So for approaching the keyframe easy in and out easy out of the keyframe. And as you can see, if you play it, it's very smoothly, as you can see, smoothly end its movement. And this is a middle keyframe. We can add easy in and easy out with auto ease. It means easy in and easy out. And as you can see, we have very smooth and nice animation. Okay, this is another important thing. Okay, for animation camera, we have to create a camera, and important thing, you have to attach to the camera. Select the camera, and with keyframing the camera, we have to use this icon, camera keyframe. Okay, our camera, set the position of your camera at the position that you want. Go to the first frame and hit the camera capture. As you can see, the camera 2 is keyframe here. Change your keyframe and change the position of the camera and hit the keyframe again. And first, sorry, you have to bring your camera in this position first, changing your frame, and then change the position of your camera and then keyframe. And as you can see, we have a camera animation. If you detach from the camera, you can see this camera that has an animation. If you change the timeline, as you can see, this is on the camera that we have animated. So go into the camera and attach it. Attach it. So you can change it any position, but if you click and drag, it suddenly jump to its position because it animated. You can go in here and change your position, but it does not any matter because you don't any keyframe here, and if you drag, it's suddenly jump in this position. It's not important. Here you can delete all the keyframes here that you want. We have a lot of tools here that I explain them separately in the next lessons. Here, all of these menus are very interesting tool. Another interesting and important keyframing is show and hide keyframe. For example, I want to, in this frame, we can show the object. We have to select first object. For example, in a 0 to 20, I want to it's be shown, and from this frame on, I want to it's be disappear. As you can see, it's you can show the object, and after that the object is hide. So for animating show and hide the object, you can use those buttons. If you want to, for example, show the object again, you can show it. In this range, the object is hide, and after that, show again. Okay, this is another option. Another interesting keyframing is director record. If you bring your range very more, and it's keyframing the camera. It does not need you have a camera. You can go in a default camera, but it's better you create a camera to store in it. Select it, attach on it, and it's record all of your movements in timeline. Select the director record, and as you can see, you can move it, change its rotation, and done. And if you detach from the camera, as you can see, if you play, this is your camera that you animate. So it does not mean camera because it automatically creates a director camera here. For seeing that, you can go to the first frame, select a director camera, attaching on it, and as you can see, it's automatically keyframing for you, and you can play it. As you can see, your most movements will be recorded, and it is very interesting. This is a director camera. And you can delete all animations. It's very important. Okay, I explained all of these settings, and another interesting thing is scale a timeline. I select auto keyframing, keyframe the object here, select the object first and change its position. It automatically keyframe for me and bring it back in its position. For example, I make it in FT. If you want to extend this keyframe, you have to manually click and drag to extend it. You can simply click and drag and select the keyframe that you want to extend, click in here, and you can scale a timeline to double, for example. What happens if you hit OK? As you can see, it's double the range of the keyframe, and our animation is go slower. So you can scale down or scale up the timeline, or automatically or manually. And another thing is translate. If you select the object or the keyframe, you have to first select the object to choose which frames you want to translate. It means it shifts the first frame to any number that you want. For example, shift the 10 frame. Okay. As you can see, it's shift whole keyframe of that selected object. It's important because we have, for example, 100 objects and animated in them, and you have to select which object you want to change its keyframe, and it shift 10 frame all of the keyframe. And you can click and drag. If you select all of them, when you click and drag, you can select and move all of them at once. Okay, that's it. In the next lesson, we are going to these menus, and we have an interesting things. And then separately explained in VR, we can store the animation, the object, and delete that and use to VR. For example, going to VR and click the object, and its animation will be happen. It's very interesting. Hello, my friends. To continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.